Okay, so it's raining or it's cold outside. You don't want to ride. Welcome to Zwift. What is Zwift? Well, it's software that makes your trainer ride an interactive experience. So we're going to take a lap of Zwift Island with the Zwift beta software. You'll need to go to Jarvis Island, which we call Zwift Island, but you don't need an airplane or a boat to get there. You just log in at Zwift.com. Once you're logged in, it's time to hook up your bicycle. How does the bicycle talk to the software? Well, it does this using Ant Plus technology, which is a low-level network protocol that sends data packets. So once you've got an Ant Plus powered power meter like I do, you begin to do a search and it will find it. Also, you'll notice it found my heart rate monitor already, 109 beats per minute. I had just gotten finished with an hour and a half ride out on the road. So don't worry, that's not my normal heart rate. Here we're all connected and we're ready to go for a ride. So you can choose someone to ride with or just ride by yourself. Welcome to Jarvis Island. It's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Yes, there is a Jarvis Island. For instance, if you go to Strava and look up someone who's been riding on Zwift Island, you can zoom in or actually zoom out on the Google Maps and you will see Jarvis Island. Of course, we call it Zwift Island. Jarvis Island is uninhabited, flat, nothing like what you see here. But I guess the people at Zwift needed some place to be in order to integrate with Strava, so they chose Jarvis Island. Let's talk a little bit about the gameplay and then go from there as far as what happens with your ride and what the potential could be. And I think that's what I'm the most excited about. Not so much what I see here, though it's great, but when you let your mind go wild about what Zwift could be, it's really cool, and I can't wait to see what the guys do with it. So let's start off talking about the interface. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll notice the wattage, RPM, and beats per minute from your heart monitor. That's showing you what's coming from your bicycle through the Ant Plus technology. To the right of that are what I call power-ups, if you would like to use that terminology from video gameplay. These are different items that you can collect that you can use. For instance, one is like flight. It's an image of a fighter jet. And so if you want an extra burst of speed, say in a sprint, you can use that power up. There's the feather. The feather is lightweight. So if you're climbing, it gives you an opportunity to, I guess, offset your weight to power ratio and you can climb a little bit faster. So that's what those two things are for. Then, of course, we move to the center item. Here's where you find your speed, you find how far you've ridden, the elevation, and the time that you are into the particular ride. You can't see it that well on this screen, but running below it in the lower left corner of that white bar, you'll see on mine is the number 4. That means I am on level 4. And there's a bar that moves across, and as you move across that bar, you're collecting points. You then get a prize, and also you can move up to the next level. Moving up to the next level allows you to gain more things like jerseys, options, shoes, all kinds of different paraphernalia. We'll see where you can change that a little bit farther on. But I need to pause right now just to show you as we come up on this 200 meters sign, another aspect. Notice it just changed and you can see a stopwatch came up above my name underneath that bar we were just talking about. So we're working to try to get this sprint. So 200 meters, 100 meters, just like a normal sprint. You're going for the kite. Once you pass under, then you get a readout at the bottom that tells you your time and where you ranked for that particular sprint. Now all of a sudden you see something else popping up and it just went away, and that's they closed the gap. You can draft. As a matter of fact, one of the power-ups that you see up there that I talked about earlier is allowing you to have a greater efficiency in a draft. There are several of these as you go around the island. Now you're going to ask another question. What are these blue people? Well, these are artificial intelligence, AI riders that are there to keep you company if there's no one else there riding with you, to help you pace yourself, to learn how to draft, just to have something to interact with if there are no other people. Now there are other people there, and the way we can see that is over on the right side of the screen. You will see a list of all the people who are on the island at the time that you are. That's the list of people that you see there. Above that list, you will see an elevation cut out showing you the grade, where you are on that particular climb, and then it also will show you the entire island that you're riding on. So again, Jarvis Island has no mountains on it, but Zwift Island certainly does. And so there is climbing involved, which I think is one of the cooler things as I consider the mathematics that have gone into the planning for this. And right on cue, we're in the middle of a climbing opportunity, a KOM, King of the Mountain. This one's pretty tough, and I wondered as I came into this game, how do they account for climbing when you are on a trainer? They can't, at least with the technology that we have at this moment with the Zwift, they can't make it harder for the resistance on the trainer to change. So how do they replicate the power that you need to put out in order to make a climb? Well, they do this by slowing your speed. So the trainer speed, or the speed you see up there on the upper information bar, is not the speed at which you are turning the wheel. I'm sure I'm going very fast spinning my wheel on the trainer, but it's only showing that I'm going 25 miles per hour. They back off the speed, so to get more speed, you're going to have to spin harder. There we finished, and hey, I got a KOM, or actually not a KOM, because someone else holds the overall Zwift climbing KOM, but I did get a polka dot jersey. Now I'm excited about my jersey, so I want to take a photo of it, and all you do is press F10 on your keyboard, and you'll notice you'll hear a sound of a photograph. Well, there you go, right there, and a flash of light. I just took a photo of myself, and it was saved to my hard drive, so the screenshot was saved to the hard drive. Then I can begin pressing different numbers. You can do this at any time. Any number on your keyboard from 1 to 9, I believe it is, will show you different screenshots. So you're able to see the environment around you in a different way, and you can also view yourself differently. So from here, I'm looking at myself in the polka dot jersey from a side view. Now going back over to the bar on the right, you'll notice one of the riders changed from green to orange. Well, this guy had the green jersey because he had the fastest sprint. We went through that earlier. But he also ended up having the fastest lap, and that's where the orange comes in. So far I can see polka dot for that particular climb. You have a green for the sprint, and then the orange for the entire lap. So whoever has the fastest times on those three areas get those jerseys. Now there are other things. When you go to Strava, you'll see there are lots of other segments on Jarvis Island, on Zwift Island, that you can get. So it's kind of exciting to see those two pieces of technology coming together. We've mentioned before the grade up at the top. Oh, I need to explain this. You can also send group text. You press M on the keyboard, you get an option to type in a phrase, a very short phrase, and then when you press enter, it'll pop out to the side of your name. So I just put up a message, anyone out there? I think most people are in oxygen debt, and I've never gotten a reply when I put that message out. But then again, I don't know any of these folks personally. So I'm sure if I ran across a friend and I were to message them, that I would be able to talk to them. Again, looking ahead, there's no doubt in my mind that the folks at Zwift are going to be adding voice communication, just like my son is playing Destiny right now behind me with his friends. He's able to voice chat with them. Wouldn't it be cool to be riding around Jarvis Island, voice chatting with one of your friends? Well, I guess as long as you can breathe. Now you'll notice that I'm getting ready to go downhill, and just like going uphill, you have to spin harder to go fast. When you're going downhill, you don't have to spin as hard to descend. Very much really like life. So here we come into the finish straight, if I could call it that. It's not really straight, but it's the last sprint that you have for the entire island. And so the time that you see there is not the time in seconds, it's actually here in minutes, because this is how long it's taken me to make the entire lap. And I have to tell you, this has all gone a lot faster than I thought, and there's a whole lot of things that I could say that I'm not going to have time to say. But really, that is the greatest thing about Zwift Island. It's amazing how fast an hour goes on the trainer when you're doing this. But imagine being able to build into this technology interval training. For instance, you're riding down the road and it's time for you to do a 2-minute interval, and a tunnel appears in front of you and you have to go through that tunnel, and it lets you know when you finished. By the way, I did stop, and when you stop, you get the options pop up. And I wanted to explain this from earlier. This is where you collect things. I think there might be a little bit of a bug here. As I have the polka dot jersey on, I'm not able to change anything else. But I'm not sure if that is intended or what. But these are some things where I think a little bit more work could be done. But really, this has so much potential. It's awesome. And I can't wait to spend more time with my friends on Zwift Island. Now, once you get back on the bicycle and start spinning, this paused section will go away. You don't have to interface with it. It goes away, and then you're able to continue riding. If you wanted to end, you would click that button at the bottom that says, I'm done. And to be honest, I am done right now with this video. So check out Zwift.com. And also check out idoitfor.org and locatance.com. And as always, thank you very much for watching this video.